Alright, so this is one of my short videos that I am going to show you guys. Well, actually, it's more like a response from me to some of you in one of my guilds that have been asking me what would be my average time that I've been running this doing the Super Adventure box. Now, because this video just show you the average time that I have spent on average that I have spent on completing the World 1 of the Super Adventure box. So I'm not gonna go into too much detail. Well, I'm not gonna go into any detail about how you can get a certain weapons or certain upgrades, etc. Instead, I'll be pointing you to one of the websites that a lot of people that have been frequently visit, which is called the Delphi. Now, I'm not sure if this person Delphi is a he or a she, but I usually just call her a she because Delphi is the female name, so that's what I usually call her that. That's what I usually assume Delphi to be a she. So yeah. So we're just gonna stick with that. Now she put up some of the video guidance and also some of the articles, written articles that's showing you guys how to, well, showing the people on the internet how to do this Super Adventure box and also getting some of the upgrades, the weapon, etc. Now this video part is a little bit different from her. Well, it's actually significantly different from her, and by that I implies on the average time that it took me to finish off one world and then I'm moving on to the next one. Well, it's more like a zone of that particular world. So zone 1, zone 2 and zone 3 are world 1, and there will be another video that I'm going to be showing you guys of me doing world 2 and the average time of completion for me into world 2. So yeah, that will be for the separate video, and this one will be just be for tailoring with the world 1. And so well, that's pretty much for the introductions. And in regard to the zone itself, now on average, zone 1 it took me usually about 6 minutes. Zone 2 is about 7 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes, and zone 3 is about 7 to 8 minutes. So that is approximately about 20 minutes to 22. And this is the average time that I usually run because just to be perfectly clear, this video is not showing you how to do the perfect run, because perfect run, in my personal opinion, is quite difficult to achieve on a regular basis, because like to be able to pull up a perfect run you have to be fully concentrated. But let's be honest with you that most of the times when I start running, then I feel that I'm not fully concentrated onto the run itself. Sometimes I make some silly mistakes and sometimes I don't. So it really depends on the mood and also on your focus, because sometimes like you've been doing it too much, you kind of feel bored, and because of that you just like, oh fuck it, I don't want to do it anymore, and then you start thinking something outside the box or something like that, and then your mind just wandering around and you're not focusing to the game. That's when you start making mistakes. And because of that, I'm not interested in showing you guys the perfect run on the basics that you can't be achieving. Well, there's like most of the people that I know of, they can't be achieving like the perfect run every time. So you have to allow some sort of like errors and mistakes as you make in each and every now and then. And so because of that, this is just purely on the basics of the average run that you make per per attempt, and that's exactly what I was interested in. And so because of that, I allow myself to make maybe 1 or 2 mistakes, or maybe like maximum I would allow to myself is like 4. So between 1 to 4 mistakes, if it's not something too major, then it's okay. If it's something too ridiculous, so like for example, I make a mistake that I know that I shouldn't have, then I'll just reset it and do it again. And so yeah, just be perfectly clear on that. Now the next thing that I want to cover is that, would there be any tricks or any tips that I have? Well, yes, I do. And One of those is the double jump. Well, sorry, not a double jump, but more like a dodge jump. The dodge jump is using the combination of the dodge, which is the V by default on your keyboard, which is the V, which is the dodge. And I shouldn't be addressing this because like obviously by the time you guys get in here, you obviously know what dodge is in US too. And the jump is in the spacebar again, so that's very basic. So but the dodge jump is one of the techniques that a lot of people use to be able to get a little bit further ahead between the two platforms or the two rocks or two turns together. And also it allows you to cross ahead some of the turns that normally that it would be impossible for you to cross using a normal jump. And sometimes it just can make it easier for you to do so. So that's why a lot of people including myself, highly recommend you to be mastering your double jump skill. Sorry, I keep using the word double jump, but it's not. It's dodge jump. So yeah, dodge jump, which is the V and the spacebar. Press them both at the same time, V and spacebar. Yeah. And another tips that I can give you is that this is just my personal experience. Feel free to modify it to your needs. I found that, how should I put it? I was trying to complete Word 1 and Word 2 as fast as possible, and because of that, I make a mistake. It's more like a psychological mistake for myself, and by that I mean when I was doing Word 1, right, and I finished it off, I moved straight away to Word 2. Now the thing is that because my brain is still with the mechanics and the roots and the parts of the previous word. So Word 1, I still, it's still in my brain. I still like my memory is still in that word and in that zone, like zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. So every single route that I have I have taken in zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3, it's still in my head. It's still imprinted in my head. And so when I start doing Word 2, zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3 for Word 2 for the Storm Wizard, I just feel that it is a little bit different, but it's not significantly different. But some of the mechanics that because my brain is still in the previous zone, in the previous word, and so because of that, when I cross on to Word 2, I don't know, it's just something that my memory is not fast in catching up with the differences between the two words. And because of that, I tend to make mistakes when I finish off with one of the words and then I move on to the another one straight away, and that caused to what was the term that I was looking for? Counterproductive. Yeah, it was very counterproductive for me to moving from one word to the other, and I'm not sure if it's working for you, because I have seen a lot of people that they're moving between the two words and no problem at all. But for me, I mean, it's just that my brain doesn't comprehend it that way, and it had a psychological impact into my brain, and because of that, I prefer to do just one word. Yeah, I just stick with one and finish it off. And I chose to finish off with the first one, and then I collect all of the skins. I collect all of the skins and everything in Word 1, including some of the what do you call it? There's another one I also collected when I was doing this as well. The daily achievement. Yeah, the daily achievement for that. I already have all of the achievements inside of the Super Adventure box. It's because 3 years ago in 2013 I did this one quite a fair bit, so because of that I have all of the achievements previously done, and so I don't have to do it again, and so that saved me a lot of time, and because of that I don't have to do it, but I still need to do my dailies. achievement, and so that's what I do it in conjunction with the use stuff for me to get the collection achievement for the Kaiser weapon. And so yeah, that's another tip that I can give to you. I mean, like, it's entirely up to you. If if you're comfortable with finishing up with one wood and then you're moving on to another one, then feel free. No problem with that at all. I mean, like, it's entirely up to you. I mean, like, you're the one who's running it, not me. So I'm just giving you information that you may find useful. And the last piece of information that I can give it to you is that try to get all of the weapons and upgrades before you attempt in the tribulation mode. The reason for that is because it's just gonna make it so much easier for you to to attempt for the run without having to trying to locate all of the weapons and upgrades and etc. And again, as I mentioned to you earlier in this video, that I am not going to show you where all of the weapons are. I'm just gonna link down the link in the description on the website that a lot of people have been using, Delphi, and then you can have a look at it for yourself. But when you attempt for the tribulation mode, please have all of the weapons and equipments fully upgrades before you attempt to do it, because it will save you a lot of time and effort as well. Because for obvious reason, when you start doing with boss fight, the one of the weapons in the game, which is the chain stick, and in the game I think it's called nunchucks or something like that. I can't exactly remember. And so that weapon is way faster than the sword that will be given to you early in the game, early in the event game. So please try to have all the weapons and all of the upgrades first before you moving in and actually start doing it. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I want to cover, and well, it's more like a response for some of you who have been asking me, what would be my average time that I run this. Aside from that, well, I'm just trying to think, would there be anything else that I want to give you that I can provide the advice to you? Well, that's pretty much it actually. Maybe just practice and more practice, because practice makes it perfect. Yeah, it's like there's no shortcut well, there's some shortcuts on how to do it. Like I only show you, when you watch the video in full, there are some other parts that I took as a shortcut to move in between some of the turns and some of the rock and some of the hills and etc, and some of the turns in the game. And so just watch the full video, and if there are any improvements that you think that you can make on top of that, feel free to do it. At the end of the day, it's for your own benefit. I'm just providing you some of the information that I have from my personal experience. And so yeah, just practice and try to have all of the weapons and upgrades before you actually move in and do it, because it will save you a lot of time. And also try to, well, if you are completely fresh, because when I first recorded this video, in my mind it was designed for the people who actually complete Super Adventure box in the normal mode before they actually watch this video and attempt to do it self. So for those of you who are completely new to the tribulation mode, I would highly recommend you to go back and do the normal mode again and again, just a couple of times, just for you to get the feel of the entire map itself, like for those of you who are completely fresh. And then after that, when you are familiar with the map, and then you want to it's time for you to try to take a little bit more challenge and achieve get the achievement done for the Kaiser weapon, and then just moving ahead and do this tribulation mode. So yeah, that's another advice I can give for those of you who are completely new. But when I was making this video, I wasn't taking that into consideration. It wasn't designed for those of you who are completely new. It was more like for me to answer the questions that I received from the people in one of my guilds. And so yeah, That's all I can say. And this is my average time that I that I have spent on each zone. And so if there are any advice that you're willing to that you are you find or you found have found any improvements that you would like to recommend it to me or suggest to me, feel free to leave it down in the channel comments, and I'm happy to include this into the video as well, or making up another video that will take on that approach instead. So yeah, feel free to give me any recommendations or advice or any feedback at all. I appreciate that. And so I'll stop here, and good luck, have fun, and don't do it too much. Make sure that you have a break in between, because like doing tribulation mode sometimes can be a little bit tedious, and so it can drain a lot of your energies. And also make sure that you have a break, and go for a walk, go to the toilet, wash your face, like stretch your muscles, and also drink a lot of water, and then come back and start doing it again, because it's not difficult, but it's also not easy. So because I'm just speaking from my experience, that I've been doing so much, so I'm familiar with everything, so it's not that big of a deal for me. But for some of you, it might be a little bit challenge, but don't be discouraged by that. Just stretch yourself, drink water, wash your face, boost up your focus, and then go back and start doing it. I wish you luck, and if you successfully complete it and get your weapons and your full collections, congratulations. All right, I'll stop here. Have fun again, and I will see you later. Bye.